6 o'clock, and I call this meeting of the La Feria Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members are present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. Please stand.
Good evening. If you'll bow your heads for prayer. Father, thank you for every seat that has been filled here today, for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room. We thank you. Only you truly know what we are setting out to accomplish today. We have an idea, a vision, hints, and daily instructions. We have talents, abilities, and a time to work. We have so many successes, Lord, here in our district, and we thank you. However, you only can see the perfect detail at the end of every beginning, every project, every season, every life. Nothing is ever in vain, for even mistakes and missteps are used for good. Lord, I thank you for tonight. Bless this meeting today and all those present, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterward. Ready us to make every moment count. Lord, we thank you for this beautiful community we live in. Please be with all our families, wherever they are. And we thank you again for all the wonderful students that we have and community. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of October 11th and October 24th. Do I have a motion?
I second.
Motion by Ms. Martinez, second by Ms. Johnson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next on the agenda is recognitions. We have A, cross country, girls, and then boys.
Good evening, Board President Mrs. Montalvo, Superintendent Mrs. Flores, and members of the board. Tonight we want to acknowledge the success of our girls and boys cross-country team, our team tennis, and our band. We're going to begin with girls cross-country. We'll get them for you.
Okay, first of all, thank you all for allowing us to be here. And before we get started presenting the team, I would like to thank the following group of individuals. Parents, for your commitment in your daughter's journey. It has paid off. I'm very blessed. La Feria ISD and school board members, for your continued support for the Lionettes. La Feria High School administration, for your acknowledgement of the Lionette cross-country team. Greatly appreciated, sir. My assistant coaches, Coach Perez and Coach Martinez, thank you. You make the cross-country season what it is: successful, fun, and always relentless. Last but not least, the Lionette cross-country team, for their relentless desire to be the best, for their commitment to represent the Lionette program and La Feria High School, and for their willingness to take ownership of their success. Thank you, ladies. The Lionette cross-country team, They are the 32 4A 2022 district champions. They are regional silver medalists, and they earned seventh place at the 4A state cross country meet. Thank you. So at this point, I will now introduce the young ladies, the Lionettes, that have been actually on this team for 3 years, and we only have one senior. So we have returning young ladies, and that one senior, I will start with her, Leandra Fernandez. They say you only know how good your team is when after 3 or 4 years they're still with you. And they say that is when you know what commitment is. And so this is an example of commitment, of being relentless, and always representing the Lionettes with great character. Thank you, Leandra. Appreciate that. The rest of the Lionette team, we have Liana Navarro. Thank you, Liana, for leading the team. Many races, the first one coming in, if not with the whole group, but definitely leading the team. So we thank you, Liana. Thank you very much. Sierra Garcia, go ahead, ma'am. Earned the second spot on the team. She has greatly improved. She's a sophomore, so we have a great future for the Lionette cross country team. Thank you, Sarah. Mia Trevino, a junior, another junior that we have. She's done a great job, a great leader, a hard worker, and again, thank you, Mia. Appreciate it. Thank you. Lindsay Cantu. Lindsay's another junior. We have a really strong junior group. So she comes out, she works hard, she does a great job. So I thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for being part of the team. Mia Cerda. Great job, Mia Cerda. Another sophomore. We have 2 sophomores on the team. So she does a great job, works hard, and will continue coming out and working hard every day. So we're very proud to have her. Thank you, Mia. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And of course, last but definitely not least, Jasmine Villagomez. This is going to be brief, but I could share many stories of how relentless this team is. But I'm going to share one story with Jasmine, and I know all the other girls have their stories. But this one, we were running in a Mission, I believe, and it was a 5K, which is 3 miles. And you start the first mile, and then they go by. Of course, I can't chase them, not even the first 10 meters. But anyway, we won't go there. So, boom, they take off, and I'm walking, and one of the coaches is like, Mira, somebody lost a shoe. And I'm like, that looks like one of my kids' shoes. I said, let me see it. I'm like, I think that's one of our kids' shoes. And I couldn't remember whose shoe it was, but anyway. So I'm calling Coach Perez, and he's trying to get their mile time, and yada, 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 all that time, and he's hanging up and hanging up. I'm like, seriously, Coach, you're hanging up. So I call him and call him, he's finally like, Coach, that's Jasmine's shoe. Where is it? Where is it? I said, I got it. So here comes Jasmine. She's coming to start her second mile. So here we go. I said, Jasmine, just run with the shoe. And the reason why was because that shoe had the chip. And that is the only way we were going to be able to get her results. So she had to run with the shoe. She had one shoe on, one shoe off, and she's moving right along, baby, right along. Finishes her second mile, comes in on her third mile. So if that's not relentless, that's just an indication of what this team does on a daily basis. So thank y'all for all your support. Thank y'all. Thank you. Yes, right there.
Congratulations. Good job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Good job. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Good job. Congratulations, senior.
Thank you for everything.
Coach Campos, we're going to take a picture of them. Behind. If y'all want to stand lower, and the board will stand behind you. Coach Salinas.
I know, I feel like.
Okay, ready everybody? Smile. 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Sir, just bring them in, sir.
Yeah.
Right there. Yes, dang.
There you go, Ruben.
Look at that. His legs are heavy. Facing that way, guys. There you go.
Oh, all right, thank you, sir. Let me go ahead and start off by thanking everyone who both supported and helped in making this remarkable season possible. Big thank you to our superintendent, Ms. Flores, and CNI director, Mr. Flores. The kids always actually appreciated you guys at the meets and taking the time to actually talk to these guys. So big thank you guys, awesome job. Another thank you to Mr. Cáceres, and Coach Salinas, your all's constant dedication to our students and the support to all our programs day in and day out is not an easy one. Thank you for always listening to what we need and pushing us to be a better program. Also, thank you to the board. We appreciate everything you guys do, and a big thank you to my assistant coach, Sergio Rodriguez. Big help, been there since the beginning. I can't thank you enough. But lastly, I want to thank the parents. You guys are the backbone to all of this. You guys are awesome. Coach Rodriguez and I are beyond blessed to have your son call us coach. I know this journey to this year's state meet was not an easy one. However, your son's hard work and dedication only solidifies what can be done not just in the Lafayette community, but for all the RGV. So it is with great privilege that I introduce each of your sons. Freshman Armando Morales. Armando was second place at district, regional champion, and 17th at state. Anthony Morales, district champion, regional runner-up, and 18th at state. Nathan Salinas, unfortunately, is not here, but he got 4th at district, 8th at regionals, and he was our 7th runner in at state. To our juniors, we have Mr. Ben Lara, 13th at district, 51st at regionals, and our 6th runner in at state. Mr. Evan Flores, he was 6th at district, 12th at regionals, and 3rd runner in at state. Chris Velasquez, he got 5th at district, 16th at regionals, and he was the 5th runner in at state. And our last, but not least, our senior, Mr. Julian Dominguez. He placed 3rd at district, 55th at regionals, and he was our 4th runner in at state. I just can't thank them enough for everything they do, guys. Don't stay complacent with what you've done. You guys have worked really hard, just like everyone else. We were able to punch our ticket in and get that silver medal as a team, but don't stay complacent. Let's continue working, gentlemen.
Congratulations.
No, good job.
Congratulations.
No, good job. Good job, man. Good job. Good job, guys. Keep it up. Good job, guys. 3 more years. Keep it up. Coach, Mr.
We'll take a picture now.
Mr. Zavieta, sir, we're going to take a picture.
Guys, check this in.
Y'all will stand.
There you go.
Mr. You want to come?
One last thing, guys. On behalf of the La Feria program and everyone up here who's worked really hard, we also like to represent our superintendent, Ms. Flores, with an honorary silver medal from our state team.
Okay, ready guys? 1, 2, 3, 2.
Next item on the agenda is tennis.
We have Coach Moss representing Team Tennis. Make room, we got a big team.
Sweetie, you think I'm a good question?
I'm at the top.
There you go.
Hello everyone, my name's Travis Moss. I'm assistant coach to Coach Sanchez. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to be here today, but she wanted me to take the time to introduce our team tennis team, by-district champs and regional qualifiers. If you don't mind, would you mind introducing yourselves?
Howdy y'all, I'm Jordan.
Please.
I'm Bianca and I'm a junior. I'm Amory and I'm a freshman.
I'm Logan and I'm a freshman too.
My name is Olivia Castro and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Derek and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Gilbert, I'm a freshman.
I'm Danielle Gomez, I'm a junior. Brianna Munoz, junior.
I'm Nicholas Rodriguez, I'm a senior.
Christian Reyna, I'm a sophomore.
Eloy Gomez, I'm a sophomore.
David Gomez, I'm a senior.
Jessica Herrera, I'm a junior. Ana Marisi Seguida, I'm a junior.
Natalie Moreno, I'm a junior.
Susana Gonzalez, I'm a junior.
Our team has been practicing practically non-stop since the beginning of July. Students have shown that they're extremely dedicated to the sport. We practice about 4 times a week, and even still, they're still asking to keep the courts open to practice. Like, I really admire the dedication that this team has had, and I'm really optimistic going further, and hopefully going further on into the season, going past my district. But now I'd like to recognize the awards that the students have gained. Let's see. So our MVP for the district is actually going to be Jessica Herrera. The newcomer of the year and all academic, Gilbert Gonzalez. First team, all academic, Jonan Alvarado. Adamaris Izaguirre, first team, all academic. Danielle Gomez, first team, all academic. Susana Gonzalez, first team, all academic. Second team, David Gomez. Second team, Eloy Gomez. Second team, all academic, Natalie Moreno. Second team, all academic, Brianna Munoz. Unfortunately, he was unable to be here, but honorable mention, Ilan Maza. And honorable mention, Logan Dorado. Congratulations. congratulations to all of you team. It's been awesome, and I really look forward to individual season. Hopefully we can get another district champion.
Stand from here.
First row of this.
Oh,
And then actually, take, you guys in the back, come down to the same floor. Everyone on the same floor. There you go, sorry. Make 2 rows. So first row, still stay first row, second row, now I'm first row.
We're good behind it.
There you go.
We're gonna go ahead and take a picture after. We'll stand to the
Like
side
this, or
first.
if you want to be on a knee, that's easier. We all
We'll
need
stand
do
to the
this,
side and let them
so
take that.
if you want to do a knee, we gotta commit to it. There you go, awesome. Now, you guys.
We're ready?
Okay. In behind you guys, so. All right. Do your best to get everyone in there.
Mr. Cousins.
All right, everybody, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Smile big for me. There we go. Awesome. Thank you.
Just after the go, if you'll just go through and shake
Congratulations.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
Good job, man. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job, man. Good job, man. Good job, man. Good job.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Good job. Good job, man.
Good job, Coach. Congratulations.
Coach, good job. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Lloyd, good job, man. Good job, sir.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Next item on the agenda is band.
Hi. I don't know where to stand.
Right here.
Okay. I just want to introduce Mariana Servin, Ana Torres, and Madison Granquist. These are our coordinators for the we'd just like to thank all our administration, school board, for always supporting us with everything we need. The kids were really looking forward to the new uniforms this year, and when they finally came in, they were ecstatic. And I hope you all like the new look of the band.
Yes.
We had a really good year this year. Every contest we went to, we did very well. We went to UIL Pigskin. We got a Division I rating from every single judge that was there, all 3. And that punched our ticket into the area marching contest. And we performed there at area, and we did well enough to make area finals. Where we ultimately ended up tied for 7th place. Super close making a state marching contest. We thought if we went a little bit later in the area, at the finals we would have punched our ticket to state. Again, just want to thank you all for your continued support. Mr. Mr. Cespedes over there putting up with us. And our new band parent over there got to see the in and out of band every contest. I'm sure he's still trying to recover over there. That's it. Thank you all.
You got one for one. You missed the other 6.
That's okay, you're fine. Go squeeze.
Alright, everybody fit into a window. If I can't see your head, you can't see me, they probably won't see your face. So. Okay, ready guys? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you.
Super sore. I just finished working.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Ma'am, awesome job. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Awesome job.
Great
Good
job.
job, Ms. Granquist.
Great job, sir. Congratulations.
Sir, great job. Guys, good job.
I still I can't get over it when we had one person in the bus, like, what was it, asthma, and
All
someone
kinds
with a
of
nosebleed outside?
And he was there. I would have walked. No, it's right here. I was joking with you.
Great seeing you guys.
You too. Good job, man.
Couldn't take any longer.
Next on the agenda is public comment, and we have one who signed up to speak. I just have to read this first.
I didn't sign up, ma'am, I just walked in late. Could I sign up? Could I still sign up or not?
Well, once they pick up the sign-up sheet, it's the.
In other words, I can't?
Right, correct. You had until the sheet was on the desk, and once they pick it up, then that's, I don't know if it's policy or if it's just a standard practice.
You could leave it up to the board president to decide.
I just don't want to.
And he did walk in late.
So, I don't know, do we? Yes? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna go ahead and.
Yes.
The one that went to the baby shower.
Oh, yeah? Your brother-in-law?
In the meantime, I'll read what I'm instructed to read here. The next item on the agenda is open forum or public comment. Before we begin, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedures for handling public comment. The public comment portion of our meeting is available to members of the public who wish to address an agenda item to be considered by the board on tonight's agenda or other topic. Anyone who wants to speak during public comment must sign in prior to the start of the meeting and list agenda item or topic they want to discuss. Each public comment speaker will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes to address the board. However, any public testimony speaker who requires a translator will receive up to 5 minutes to address the board. The public comment portion of the meeting will allow all speakers who have signed up before the start of the meeting to address the board regarding an item on tonight's agenda or other topic. Please keep your comments or criticisms civil and courteous. Please also avoid using profanity and refrain from making personal attacks on others during your opportunity to speak. Lastly, we ask that you do not discuss students who are not your own child. If a speaker is seeking board resolution of a specific complaint, that concern should be addressed through the district's grievance policy. District Policy DGBA has been established for addressing employee complaints. Policy FNG is the avenue for filing parent complaints, and Policy GF addresses community member complaints. Grievance forms can be obtained at any campus administration office or in the central administration offices. Thank you. Our first speaker is Mr. Santos.
Thank you for
You have 5 minutes.
allowing me to speak, members of the board, superintendent. My name is Santos. I am a concerned parent. I'm here to discuss or kind of get an overview of the policy. I'm specifically talking about a campus which is Dominguez Elementary. I am a concerned parent. My daughter goes there, and it's 2 items pretty much. One of them is a policy on the teachers, how should I say, talking to the students, particularly in mind. There's been cases that 2 or 3 of the teachers have kind of yelled instead of talking or bringing them to the side. So I'm concerned about that. There was another incident that my daughter brought up to my attention, that there was a little boy that was, it got to the point where it was cried. So, that's how bad it is. I don't know who oversees the policy, but I would like to get more information on policy and as to how we could address that, to maybe tone it down or discuss it in a memorandum. Hey, we need to talk to our children maybe in a more private matter if it gets out of hand. I don't think that by yelling we will accomplish anything to the students in that case. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And next we have Mr. Robert Kim.
Hello, ma'am, everybody, right? I'm gonna make it quick and short, I'm here to, I think everybody should know about this situation. My granddaughter's a senior. She got caught with drugs, she messed up, it was her fault, this and that, but I just feel that, I think somebody handled it wrong because, she is 18, all right, so, but the school, I feel, handled the situation wrong. Yes, it was her fault, she got caught at school, blah, blah, blah. We were told, suspension, 60 days, and then it got to 180 days, expulsion, blah, blah, blah. But my point is not that, she deserves to be punished. In fact, today I went into the county and enrolled her and everything. My point is, she's never been in trouble with nobody. Nothing, no lunch detention, no nothing. Why wasn't she counseled? Why wasn't she helped or this or that? Like I told the committee, are you all here to hurt kids or to help them? This kid's never done nothing, period, and yet she ends up in jail here, all right, at 11 o'clock in the morning. At 5 o'clock, the judge throws her at the county jail in Carrizales, and that's bad. Can you imagine the mental language that that's gonna have on the little kid? She's 18 years old, yes, I understand that, because it said that on page 60, you're 18, you're gone. We threw the book at her, and nobody helped, period. And that's what upsets me, that there was no counseling, no helping, no nada. Even today, we met and, I made the point, if you all just put her over here, the DAP here, and, there's just no way because the policy says no way, she's already over there, all right? My point is that I just feel that she should have been helped, because how would you feel if your kid never done anything, period? And she ends up in the city jail, and then at the county jail where supposedly we throw the best people. And she's not bad, never done nothing, period. And so basically, I just felt that everybody needed to know this, not just per se the principal, the superintendent, and that's it. I think all of us need to kind of like, maybe we need to have a little adjustment in our policies where we do help kids. Yes, I realize she's 18, she messed up, and she's gonna pay for it. But to put somebody like that with no prior knowledge of no fighting, no nothing, in jail twice in one day, can you imagine the impact that that's gonna have on the little girl for the rest of her life? That's ugly, if you think about it. All right? That's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Can I leave?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next on the agenda is information items. A, discussion of superintendent performance goal 2, safe and secure environment.
Thank you, Madam President. Superintendent Performance Goal 2 talks about safe and secure environment, specifically Activity 1. The superintendent will ensure all procedures and protocols promoting safety of our students and staff at campuses and the district level are updated and training provided. So on the slides before you, you will have a list of all the trainings that we've had to this point. You have the district that began on July 18th. Our last one was October 17th. And we continue to have trainings. We'll have another district level committee meeting the last week of November. At the high school, you'll see again, we began our safety meetings in July. The last active shooter drill was November 7th, and our next training for all of our schools and our drills will be in January. And so you can pretty much go down the line and you have documented there the different trainings that we've had at the different campuses.
What's the difference between a safety review, which your theory of safety procedures, and a drill review? Is that like
A drill is actually their, right, safety is they have a meeting, they discuss it with the
Right.
teachers, but a drill is actually going through the motions.
whatever?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I thought.
Ms. Torres,
Yes, ma'am.
I noticed that on Noemi Dominguez, there's not a drill. Maybe we just leave it out, or I missed it.
We asked for the documentation from the campuses, and so this is, at Dominguez, they did have one on November 1st, an intruder one. You can see they had one on a safety intruder on the 18th and November 1st.
Oh, those are actually drills?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, ma'am.
okay. Okay, that's fine.
And so we wanted to tonight give you the documentation of the drills. We will also discuss an audit that we have later on and more in closed session. But these are specifically the trainings that we're having with our staff and the drills that we're having. We also had training, Mrs. Ramos provided for a substitute as required by law now. So we have everything documented just for your information.
Ms.
Yes,
Torres,
ma'am.
Is a shack, can that be included in part of this? They do cover a lot of the.
We can also include, we've had 2 meetings with the SHAC and they've discussed that, so we can add that with these as well, under district.
What about parents? Have we?
Parents are part of our district team. They're also a part of the SHAC. So that's how they get involved. If you go back to the district meetings, when we had the district safety and security team meeting, and then we had one in August, and we'll have another one in November.
Because I know, one that, Ms. Katie and I attended, it was of the difference between a lockdown and so I think it was important that our parents were aware when, messages go out, what's the difference? So that way, there's no.
And today, in fact, Mrs. Ramos attended in person, I attended online, and the superintendents in the valley were discussing that. And they said they're still having with the law enforcement and with the schools, we're still calling things differently. So that's something across the valley that we're still addressing. And we've had a couple of meetings with the chief here, we've met also with, we've met more with Chief Diaz than we probably have the other ones, but we've discussed those. And so that he understands, we understand, and we have the same terminology, but we continue to Yes.
And our students and our
Yes.
parents as well understand, that way everybody's on the same
Right.
page.
And our lockdown, again, it was recommended that we not have with
Come.
students. And so we do those, we discuss with students, this is what you're going to do, but we don't have the lockdown drills with our students. We do all the other type of drills. Any other questions about the safety drills we've had? Thank you.
Next information item is discussion of superintendent performance goal 3, parental engagement opportunities.
Thank you, Board President. The two activities that we're going to discuss today with parental engagement is the monthly make and take instructional parent meetings that we're having. And also, one of the goals that we had is to go do 3 on-site meetings, because a lot of times parents don't come in, so we decided to go to them. And so those are the two things we're going to discuss. So you can see from the list here that we've had senior meetings. We had 97 that was put on by our counselors at the high school. Then we've had Technology Tuesdays. We haven't got as many. We had 5, and then the next time I think we had about 11, and we have one more tomorrow night. But we tried something with technology specific. We've also had literacy nights at Sam Houston. They had 32, and then they had another one at Sanchez that they had 33. A bilingual night, we had 198. It was very well attended. The 3 specifically that we went out to the sites, we went to Kinlaw Park and we had 7. At Adams Garden, we had 21 kids come by. And then we went to an RV park on Old 83 and Rapp Road and on 506, and we had another 15. And so we were able to give out teaching materials that correlate to what is being taught at this time. And those same materials on the literacy nights are being given out. And so we're just trying to give out tools for our parents to be able to help with the TEKs that are being taught. We also passed out at the trunk or treat 40 different packets to our parents again of instructional materials that they can use at home.
Those were amazing packets.
And it
Very, very good packets.
in December, Mrs. Laredo is heading up a 2- and 3-year-old. We've already had a time that we gave out packets to 2- and 3-year-olds, again, learning their colors and numbers. But in December, they're going to come in person, and we have a list of about 50 that we have names of 2- and 3-year-olds that we have gotten, and we're going to bring them in and do little centers with them, but at the same time, reminding them about pre-registration in the spring. We want to start those relationships with the students when they're 2- and 3-year-olds, so that not only do we give them instructional materials to help them get ready for pre-K 4 and kindergarten, but at the same time build those relationships to help with enrollment. So overall, I cannot stress enough Mr. Flores and how much the parental involvement department under Nancy Laredo is doing a great job with the literacy and with going out to the community and getting those instructional materials.
So for
Yes,
that
sir.
age group, are we allowed to go visit daycare centers, like in town?
We hadn't done that, but we can. You know, one of the things I'm treading lightly on is I don't want them to feel like we're trying to take their
Yeah.
students away from their business. But that's something that we could invite them to come and participate together. I also wanted to show you the parental surveys. And so every single session that we have, and this was just one example of a survey, so they are able to write in comments and they fill in surveys. And right now we have 2 binders worth of surveys. So we get surveys, we read them, review them, and make sure that we're always asking parents, how can we do better, or what do you need? And so I think that, you know, the principals, many of these literacy nights are put on by the principals, and Mrs. Laredo is supporting, and the principals are doing, but she supports. And what they have done is they have done kinder first, and then they have done 3rd and 4th, but they've broken it down and performances, because we know that's what gets the students in. So they have the activity first and then the performance, so that they stick around. And so I just went to one last week from Sam Houston, and they did their make and takes, got everything that they needed for the literacy night, and then they went and had the performance, so that you keep everybody. And they're being really good as far as trying to keep it within that 1 hour, because we know that if they go too long, parents are gonna stop coming because it takes too much time. So we're trying to keep them within a 1 hour timetable so that parents know, hey, if I go, I know it's gonna be an hour and then I'm on. So.
I know these activities are at the campus level or on site. Are there activities such as like our back to school bash and the alumni, is that a different activity?
What I did here is try to do, I didn't put those here, but
Right.
yes, we had the back to school bash and that, where we also gave instructional materials.
Right.
And these are some of the things we've done in the fall.
Right.
And after school started, but yes, we have that and we had great numbers there. And in the summer, we gave them instructional materials and then we gave them also for the back to school.
I just felt that it needed to be included so the
Yes.
district can get recognized because they were
Yes.
very, you know.
And
very well received.
we'll include that as well.
Okay.
And so we're planning our parent conference, and I've been talking to Mr. Flores, and we're looking in January. We're trying to decide if we wanna have it on a Saturday or an evening. You know, some people don't wanna give up a Saturday, they would rather have it in the evening, but then, so that's what we're debating right now.
Ms. Solis, I noticed that financial literacy was just in Sam Houston and Seabell. Was Sanchez left out?
Sanchez, we did, but we didn't have anybody show. We did not have one individual show for financial literacy. And I can share with you about some ideas later, I mean, you know.
I think we need to list it even if it's 0.
Okay.
And so that shows that we did all 3 campuses.
Yes, ma'am, and I can add that along with the other two,
Sí,
because
you know,
we did.
Cause I think, parents need to know that it was made available. If they didn't come, well, they didn't come.
And at that time, Ms. Garza was principal there, and she did tell me that she did call them individually, she did make phone calls home.
Yeah.
But we'll list that, yes. Any other questions about our parental meetings? Yes, ma'am.
I do have a question. So the parental engagement opportunities is just, to engage the parent. How are we tracking to make sure that, how does it go into the classroom?
One of the things that is unique, I think, about what they're doing this year is the materials that are being made by the teachers, and it's going along with the TEKS for that 6 weeks. So I'm not just giving you materials and they don't make sense for that timetable. The materials that you're getting correlate to what's happening in the classroom. So if I'm teaching a specific skill, what we're teaching you in that literacy night goes hand in hand with what we're teaching in the classroom. I don't know if that's what you're asking.
Well, I guess I'm asking like, or maybe it's a different, goal and a different, I'm just gonna keep that
Okay.
for right now. 'Cause it might
These
go
are
over.
specifically, when I talk to Ms. Laredo, I say we have different activities. We have some activities that are just forming relationships, because we feel like if we can form relationships, then when we need them to come in academically, they'll come in. So we have some things, back to school bash, some of those things are just having fun with the kids, but at the same time giving them something instructional, some books, but forming those relationships so that they will come in when we call them when we need to do something. The second type is the instructional component, whether it's financial literacy or whether reading or whether it's math, but those type. We'll also have specific ESL. We'll talk about TELPUS, we'll talk about speaking, and we'll have some things like that. We also have specific things for migrant as well. We had GT, we had a daytime and a nighttime session for parents of GT.
I guess, for instance, my son attends CEVAL, and the teacher, I don't know if it was from the classroom or it's a campus decision. He decided to call each parent to have a conference, and they had an option of doing it via Zoom or come in person, and he had time slots. And I was wondering, because I've never experienced that with my other son, or so I was wondering if that's a new initiative that the teacher's asking the whole classroom, every child in the classroom, to meet with each parent. And they set up a time, I think he had 2 days, and we go through Remind, and they had to fill in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
And some parents chose online, and the meeting was to see where your son landed academically. He's a kindergarten, so nothing right now relates to it's just to make sure that he's ready for first grade.
Right.
So he went through his own assessment, and I was really, I was wowed on how much information I got from him. on the assessments that they were doing in class. So I was wondering, is that something new that the district is doing with, elementary, like before they hit STAR?
And I'm gonna need Mr. Flores' help on this. Is that specifically Vel, specific that teacher, or is that district something that they're doing?
Because that's a form of parent engagement,
Right.
because you know, they reached out to me and every parent.
I want to say that is specifically for Vic, but that's certainly something that I can ask the other two campuses to see if they're doing something different or something similar to. But from what I understand, that is unique to Vic.
I think in the past, it may have been unique to teachers, because I know like at Sam Houston years back, I think it was also a kinder teacher or something like that. I don't know if it was open house or meet the teacher, she asked, I want every parent to sign up for a conference, whether your kid's doing good, bad, whatever, I want every parent to set a conference time with me. And I think back then it was like just more teacher,
Teacher-led.
I loved it, because
I thought it was really good too.
It was really informative for the parent. I already knew like where my son lighted, where he was reading at, what level he was reading at. He had a program, an assessment that they used specifically for kindergarten, and he brought it out like if it was a STAR. So it was really good. And he told me, okay, he's lacking in this area. These are the items you can use with that packet. He related to that because I went the night before. So I was like, wow.
Okay, we'll definitely follow up to see and share that with everybody.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Next information item, discussion of superintendent performance goal 4, promoting a positive climate and culture.
Thank you, Board President. Activity 2 specifically talks about surveying our staff, not just our teachers, but all of our staff in October and then also in January. We know that we have the one at the end of the year, but surveying them to get the feel of what they think is working and what is not. And the goal this year was to get 90% of the surveys returned. Not necessarily 90 positive, but we want to hear from everyone. And so again, we set the goal at 90% because we know that last year we had 46% in the spring, and that was a concern. This October, we had 72%. We are still below that 90%. That is our goal. So we're coming up with ideas that we can do to get that information in January. I also met individually with each principal on October 17th and 18th, right after we had the survey, and we went over each campus's surveys. And I let them know, please tell your teachers as a district, this is why we're not doing this is why we're doing this. And so I answered all of their questions or concerns at a district level. Then they went back and they had until the following Monday to meet with all of their staff, because the one thing that I did not want is for them to feel like they filled out a survey and nothing was addressed. And so we did talk about that. At January staff development, we're going to come back and we're going to list again all of their concerns and what has been addressed and what has not before we ask them to fill out another survey. So here's what you said. Some of the things, if they said build a new school, for example, that's not gonna be done, but we can, at this time, but we can explain to them what we are doing with facilities. So that was very important, not just to get them, but then to also address them. Some things were very fast. My door has been broken for 3 months. We could fix that week. And so some things we're able to fix. Air conditioning was a big concern. I put it in your Friday board weekly report about what every single air conditioner is going to be replaced. We gave that to the principals so that they could also share, I know your air conditioner is not working, but you're on the list. It was board approved, and so it should be fixed soon. So all of those types of things. And so we're going to give a survey again in January, and we're hoping by them seeing that we have addressed that we'll get 90% in January, and that's our goal. We still haven't got there yet, we're at 72, but we're gonna push for that. And then I just gave you a copy of what, it was 4 basic questions. Some of them wrote a lot of information, and some of them wrote a little bit.
Next information item, D, intruder detection audit from October 2022.
Good evening, Board President. Superintendent Ms. Torres and school board members. As you all know, our Texas Education Agency requires us to have monthly safety audits of our campuses and the areas of intruder detection, exterior door audit, classroom door audit, and weekly exterior door sweeps. And on October 7th, October 7th, we had a visit, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail. Of course, Ms. Torres will go into in closed session with you if you have any other questions. But we do have some corrective actions that we will be addressing. Training staff and substitutes on exterior and interior door closure procedures, ensuring documentation on exterior door sweeps is on file, and ensuring broken doors are addressed. So this is something that we will be addressing. We do have a district safety committee meeting on the 28th of November, and we will go into more detail with what we're also doing throughout the district on this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? So I have a motion by Mrs. Casa, second by Mr. Briones. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next item on the agenda is items to consider and possible action. Purchase orders over $25,000. The first item to consider and take possible action is on the discussion and consideration to approve RFP for electric gates.
Good evening, Board President, Mrs. Torres, board members. We're coming to bring to you, we took the RFP for the electric gates. Our engineer, Mr. Dustin Moore, he's here also as well, so anytime, sir, you'd like to chime in. We put out the RFP for 2 weeks. I believe it was 2 weeks. Last week was the deadline for it. And then Dustin, if you want to kind of fill in with this, we had quite a bit of them interested in it. However, because of due to bonding on this, we only had one of them technically eligible to submit bids. So that was the loan company that bid on this. Again, we did have multiple of them come out here, but because we're using federal funds, we have to follow different types of rules. So because of that, the one that came in, it did come in at a pretty hefty price to do the electric gates at all the campuses. This would be electrical. This does not include for us to put a security camera there, but it does include, we do have to run quite a bit of electrical out there. It would be a little bit over $429,000. The cost of that, we would pay $100,000 of that would come out of Title IV, which would be the whole allotment that we get for 22-23. The other $329,000, what I was proposing to Mrs. Torres is that we would do it out of our unassigned fund balance. So again, I know that in the previous past, I've talked about the first rating and how that would affect us, but we ran some of the numbers, and I think that, given that where our fund balance is, given hopefully, our preliminary numbers with our audit, that we might put some additional fund balance in there, I think that will help offset this. Now, because we are going into the unassigned fund balance, $329,000, we're not gonna do a budget amendment now. We would like to do that maybe later on, because there's also another item that we would like to bring to that as well, which would be the scoreboard. So we would like to, that way we minimize the number of budget amendments from, so that's the reason why. But again, the cost would be $429,000. I don't know if there's any particular questions on the gates or on the cost from any members.
And we are looking still at getting those 10 points.
Yeah, so I actually ran the numbers, and so actually I feel very confident we'll get the full 10 points this year from rating indicator 7. However, it does vary because it takes total expenditures into account. This year that's being audited, our total expenditures were a little bit lower because remember that we moved a lot of them to ESER 3. And then also what lowers it is that it doesn't include capital, and this past year we paid, which was $1.2 million, we paid in July for it was for part of the parking lot, so of what's being audited. So that's why I think this year actually, if I ran the numbers correctly, we're actually at 114 days cash.
And you need
which
90.
is a huge jump, we just need 90. But then just to keep in mind that the following year, we could always go back to the 90. That's the goal, right? Always 90 so we can get the full 10 points.
Do we have an estimate on what we thought this was gonna come in at, or like?
For this one, we thought maybe around the $300,000 or $350,000 range, but again, that's why we had our engineer and, you know, companies that were gonna go out there, and we did realize it was gonna be expensive running all the electrical. Perfect example, Sanchez, where the bus comes in at the very end, the gate out there, we literally will have to run electrical all the way into the campus, so, you know, electrical does become very costly on that. But that was the idea initially. Once we had them do, you know, their surveying and do all the technical stuff, we did realize it was gonna be pretty expensive.
Well, and the way we bid it out, we have several line items that, the company that did bid did set up a time, and we spent about 3 hours. We went to every single campus with district staff. And so it's a pretty comprehensive bid. They called a lot of stuff, kind of, you know, well, we can't just put this gate here, we have to reroute the fence to do this, cause it, you know, it's right on the property line, so it'll be sliding into the neighbors. So it was very comprehensive, and we added several line items as a result, where we put in some timers so that the gate automatically opens at 7, automatically closes at 9, so you're not having to sit there and have someone keep it open. They also had us brought up that it might be a good idea to add walk-through gates at all of them, in case emergency personnel, they can get in through a Knox box, get in the property, open the drive-through gate. And so we added those as line items. The way the advertisement was, we can award all or part of the contract. If y'all think let's scratch that out and district staff can do it, you know, y'all have that ability to scratch out that line item. I mean, of the 430, that might take out $20,000 or something. I mean, it's not like it's gonna change the entirety of the whole project or anything, but you do have that option if y'all want to.
So everything, Dustin, is in that amount, all the,
Yeah, so that 430 is relocating fence, installing
Everything.
all the gates, the motors, the electrical, everything.
well, I would like to make a motion that we approve the RFP for the electric gates.
And I'd like to make a second motion, and I'd like to make a comment after that motion, if I could.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Johnson, I have a second by Mrs. Casas. Any further discussion?
I just wanted to thank you and compliment you for working really hard to have that magic number for the 10 or whatever the number is. But I think in this case, student safety, you know, overrides everything else. Because, you know, what would be the purpose of having money in the fund balance and meeting the 10 or 20, whatever the number is, magic number is, and if our students were not as safe. So I do want to compliment you and Ms. Torres for thinking of our student safety first. And God will provide, we will be okay.
Thank you so much.
And that was the same thing I was thinking too, you know, safety comes first, and yes, we may not get that 100 on our first rating or whatever, but, you know, in this case, you know, I think, you know, you know, it's, the safety is more important.
Well, one of the things is when we used to have lockdowns, we had to have a custodian walk all the way out and lock it, and it just didn't make a whole lot of sense, you
And
know?
at particular campuses, again, I always bring up Sanchez because the walk is a long walk to the bus exit, so.
And they were probably saying, you go, no, you go.
Yeah, thank you very
I
much.
just had a question, timeline.
Yeah, so again, another part that I like that Mr. Moore added, so which I think I'll piggyback off if we ever do future RFPs. He did added a timeline on there for the company, so they do have 60 calendar days from the day that they start, so I think that's gonna push them to do it. Should be a quick turnaround.
Well, okay, I got it. So through it, we did an addendum and we bumped that to 120. And their main concern was lead time of materials, everything. So they have 120 days from when y'all award it to completion.
Which is still, I mean, that's still 4 months within, so we're talking about, you know, before the school year ends, we should have everything in place.
And you can see the pictures, we sent it along with where all of the specific dates are going to be located.
Very good.
Thank you.
So I have a motion by Ms. Johnson, second by Mrs. Casas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, item, to consider and take possible action on is to install new monitors and update ceiling microphones and speakers at La Veria High School cafeteria.
Yes, so we're bringing to the board for approval to update the cafetorium at the high school. I know that cafeteria is used quite a bit, not just for high school events, but for district-wide events. I know that's where we had, now that we're having all these safety and, active shooter drills, we had quite a bit of them there. We've had, for the past several years, we've had issues with the microphones, they're pretty outdated, the ones that are on the top ceiling, as well as some of the speakers. So this would help us update that, as well as add 2 monitors on the sides, and I believe they would be like 90-inch monitors. I know that sometimes when we want to do presentations, things like that, I believe though even the one that's right there, that projector's quite a bit old. So it would be to update the speakers, it would be update the microphones, and the microphones also work for the students there. Because I know a lot of times they do like presentations and all that, like choir or theater, they do that. And then of course the 2 monitors that would be on the side. And so the total cost for that one, it would come in at, I believe it was $28,000. And it would be from audio visual. They are, from Byboard.
And the funding we're using for this?
The funding for this would come out of local funding, ma'am.
Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Audiovisual Aids as a company to install new monitors and update CD microphones and speakers at La Feria High School cafeteria.
I have a motion by Ms. Castillo, second by Ms. Martinez. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. It is now 7:06, and we are moving into closed meeting pursuant to Texas Government Code, Chapter 551.